Jesse and I we're not really going to be doing this together anymore. He's actually going to be starting his own little solo adventure. He's going to start streaming gameplay. So that will be fun for him. But that leaves me with our vlog channel with both our names, but it's just me. So for the foreseeable future, it'll just be me. It's been over a year since we posted our last video, and so much has changed. I really thought we had a plan. It was going to be linear. We knew where we were going. We're getting out of the Navy. We're moving. And those two things did happen. I no longer live in Maryland. I live in Ohio. I have for a little less than a year. I'm out of the military. I'm a college student. And, all things considered, my college is paid for. So you'd think that I would just not be stressed, because, ooh, yay, like no student loans. True, but I have now moving debt and debt from other things, and we're trying to figure it out. I'm not working. I'm essentially like a stay-at-home cat mom. We have one car, and Jesse doesn't think it's a good idea for me to get a part-time job because of his current work schedule. So in the interim, I'm trying to freelance. I took a web development course for my degree, and I learned some basics, and now I'm going out most days and talking to businesses and trying to convince them that I, a 23-year-old without a degree and no prior clients to speak of, should indeed be trusted to build their website. But, I did make 3 pretty decent sample portfolios. I have a little client intake, and I have a little form they can fill out, and I really don't know if it's going to work. I'm not charging a lot. I don't know if they're going to bite, but I'm hopeful because I want to do something. And we did do DoorDash. I've tried DoorDashing, and it's fine, really, it is. But living in Ohio, there's certain parts of Ohio where, you can make a lot of money, and then there's parts of Ohio where there's not as much opportunity, and we're kind of more so in that area. So it's kind of touch and go for the most part. But I do have high hopes for the freelancing. I am continuing YouTube. I really want to put out 1 video a week, and that is my plan. Absolutely, that is my plan. But we'll see where life takes us, because it just doesn't always work out that way. But that is my goal, 1 video a week. I still have celiac disease, obviously. It's really not getting better. My blood tests have come back more elevated, but I feel like I'm even more careful than I was before. So they've said I might have refractory celiac disease, which is concerning, but I don't know. It's just a difficult thing to deal with because gluten is in almost everything. I think for me, probably the worst part about celiac disease isn't, not being able to enjoy some of my favorite foods, but more so having to explain myself consistently to other people, because it is, a little bit more serious than it sounds. Like I hate that almost every social interaction, if we're going out to eat or if I want to go out on a date with my husband, it always comes down to, is it safe? Like, can I go there and eat and not get sick, not damage my intestines? But I feel like I'm being really careful. I just don't know what more I can do. And with that, I also have fibromyalgia, which I think I've talked about before, the condition that is described as an all-encompassing condition when they can't figure out what's wrong with you. So that's fun. You know, you'll meet some people that get it, you know, they've experienced it or they know people, and then you'll meet other people who are, you know, not so understanding or, you know, have fun remarks to make about it. But overall, I'm just doing the best that I can with where I'm at, you know, just trying to get out of debt, figure out life. You know, I got married at 20. Man, there's just so much to figure out so early on. Like, we have a house, you know. I'm 23 and I have a house. It's, you know, I didn't have to use my VA loan for it. It's in Jesse's name, but gosh, we have a house. And the house we bought is, I don't want to say it's unstable, but the ground is not stable. So we had it stabilized when we first moved in, so it can't get any worse, but I swear to you, there is not a single part on this floor where you can just walk and there won't be some kind of slant. Like right now, as I'm sitting, my chair feels like that. In our bed, which, you know, it should be a sanctuary, somewhere you can go, crawl in and be comfortable. But no, not for me. My side of the bed, closest to the window, which, you know, maybe we'll do some kind of a house tour at some point. It's like this. So we'll be getting ready to go to bed, you know, and Jesse will be like, hey, you're in the middle of the bed. Like, what the heck? Like, can we fix this, please? And I'm crawling. I'm trying to get to the other side. Oh, fuck. Loki? Oh my god. Okay. Thanks, dude. That was cool. I just lost my goddamn train of thought. Fuck. Oh, okay. I remember. So he'll ask me to go to the other side, and I will, and then within a matter of seconds, I'm falling back into him. And it's somewhat because of the slant, and it's also somewhat just because he, you know, weighs a bit more than me. So naturally, with the slant, he's going to sink into the mattress a little bit more than me. And so I just always end up on top of him, which I would think that most husbands wouldn't be bothered by that, but mine does have a shoulder injury, so I just feel like we're in this really weird in-between stage of life, in all honesty. I think this is maybe just what it's like to be in your 20s. It feels like everything is moving and nothing is moving all at once. Like, we have these aspirations and these ideas and these ideas of things we want to go do, but it's hard to get there. It's really hard to get there. But yeah, I feel like the real reason I want to continue these is for posterity, but also myself. We were watching back our first couple vlogs last month, and there were a lot of things that happened in the vlogs that I just genuinely couldn't remember. Like, I have such a bad memory. I have such terrible brain fog, and it was nice to just have that and know that it's going to be there forever, and we can show our kids one day how we acted, you know, that things weren't always as seamless as maybe we actually try and make them think they were. But I don't know, I just want to grow, I want to change, and I want to document the process as we go. So I think one of my biggest problems is it's not even having ideas. Like, I'll have all of these ideas. I've had an insane amount of really good ideas. And I'm not even exaggerating. They're good ideas. It's just follow through. Like I'll start to do something with it, and then I'll start thinking about something else, and that other thing it'll fade into oblivion. Or I'll overthink so much about how I want to go about the process and how it could work and just all of those details, and then, nothing will ever come of it. And I don't want to be that way anymore. I really want to follow through, and I think that this will help me do that. I think it's similar to going to the gym, like when you go to the gym, oftentimes afterwards you'll feel a little bit more accomplished, a little bit more of like a pip in your step. And if not a pip in your step because it's leg day, more of like a limp in your step. But yeah, I just want to document it all. So, and I want to be creative. I've been trying to make myself be more creative and do more hands-on things. And something I've really always enjoyed is, so not so much the talking to a camera part, but I really like editing videos. So not that I've done a lot of video creation, but I've done a fair amount of slideshow presentations, and I've created a fair amount of video presentations, and I am going to post a video a week, damn it. Like, I'm going to do it. If I don't, to help me keep with it, dislike my video. Please dislike my video, because then, outside of random traction on my channel, I will be more motivated to record more videos. I do still have the 4 cats. Speak of the devil, there's Connecticut, as usual, just causing trouble on my computer. Thanks, buddy. So helpful. Yeah, they're just doing what they're... Oh, hi. That's my water. Buddy, no, honey. Please don't eat that. Please don't eat that. No. It's so cute. But what we do is we'll get our hand wet and then kind of lightly brush their fur backwards. So if they're in the middle of a confrontation, right, they'll stop and start bathing themselves. So if you do it to both of the offending cats, it's a pretty good... Oh, please stay out of there. It's a pretty good breaking, anti-conflict tool. And then the other is if we need to just kind of warn them, we'll kind of just like lightly pinch their ears, and usually it annoys them enough they just stop whatever they're doing. I don't know why. So this is me trying. Stay tuned for the next video, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I don't want to say bye. No, that can't be it. We'll just say... Can't say adios. That's kind of weird. I'm a white girl.
Bye.